Hello, this is Maria Nemeth, licensed clinical psychologist, master certified coach. Welcome to segment number 3. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how to find a coach and what to ask a coach once you found them. Now, how do you go about finding a coach? Well, one of the best ways is to ask around, isn't it? Word of mouth in your community. Who has a coach? It's interesting because when we have a psychotherapist, don't we kind of want to hide that from others? We wouldn't talk about being in therapy. But coaching now is being seen as a mark of success. So people are usually pretty proud about talking about the fact that they have a coach, whether it's an executive coach or a life coach. People don't mind talking about it. And when you talk with people, find out if they're satisfied, if they're actually producing results with their coach. That's one good way always of finding one. The second thing you can do is go in your community, look in the yellow pages. Really, coaches advertise in the yellow pages. Look and see where a coach is near you. The third way is to go on the International Coach Federation website. That's ICF. The International Coach Federation is a professional certifying body that certifies individual coaches and grants accreditation to schools or academies that provide coach training. So you can always go on their website because they list the people who have gotten accredited, or people who have gotten certified as coaches through ICF. When you see that, you know that you've gotten a coach who's dedicated a lot of energy to training in order to show up as proficient in this profession. What do you ask coaches? Well, first, I suggest that you pick 3 coaches and feel free to be very frank with them as you talk with them. Number 1, find out from the coach, did you get training? Where was your training? Coaches who have had training in the profession, they're very happy to tell you exactly where they got their training. The second question you ask is, was this school accredited through the International Coach Federation? Because schools that are accredited through ICF have gone through a lot of work to make sure that their curriculum meets the highest professional standards. The next thing you can ask your coach is this: what are the criteria you have for success? For example, do you see as success actually producing particular results? Let's say you want to write a book. You want a coach who doesn't give you insight necessarily or solely about why you want to write this book. You want a coach who actually helps you produce the book. The next thing is this: after you ask what are your criteria for success, and check out whether or not these are the criteria that you want to go with, the next thing is, what is your fee structure? How do you charge for coaching? Some coaches will charge session by session. In other words, you pay me each session that we have. Some coaches will offer a package. In other words, I charge X amount per sessions, and my recommendation is that you go with a package of 6 sessions, which gives us a chance to see whether or not this is being successful with you. Some coaches, on the other hand, ask for something called a retainer, which is for X amount every month, possibly for a minimum of 3 months. I am on call as your coach. This is a total access program in which you can call me anytime. You can have as many sessions as you want, and you know I'm there for you whenever. And sometimes when you have that kind of a coach, he or she will let you know that you can even reach them on Saturdays and Sundays. The next thing you want to look at with your coach is something called the contract. Coaches usually have a contract that they sign and you sign. Now, this is not a legal document. This is just a document that says you and the coach both recognize what you're going to be doing. In other words, that the coach is not there to give you psychotherapy, to give you medical advice or financial advice or legal advice, but that the coach is there to support you in making your dreams a reality. Also, part of the contract will usually talk about what happens if you miss a session. Do you need to pay for it, or does the coach just not have you pay for it and go on to the next session? All these are very important things to ask any prospective coach, because after you ask them, you will get a feeling, a sense of which coach is right for you to work with by the way they answer that question. Finally, or those questions. Finally, do you want to become a coach yourself? Well, do you love to support people? Does your heart light up when you see them become successful? Do you want to be part of that process? Do you see people as full of potential and promise? If that is true for you, it sounds like you have the temperament to become a coach. How do you find a school? Once again, go to the International Coach Federation website. See which school is either near you or has the coaching philosophy that you want to learn more of. If you do these things, I promise that, number one, you will get a good coach for yourself if you follow those instructions I said earlier, or number two, if you do the research on ICF, you'll become a good coach yourself. Finally, this: every coach recognizes that he or she needs coaching. So even as you're considering becoming a coach, you might want to hire a coach who will help you even with that process. This is Maria Nemeth, licensed clinical psychologist, master certified coach, saying thank you very much for being with me in this series. I hope it was productive for you. Use whatever you've discovered to develop and live the life you are meant to be living. Thank you.